Hello! Are you ready for the topic today? So, we are from Group F, who consists of 5 members: Selza, Sandro, Intan, Yossi, and me, Regina, will bring the topic about teaching writing with technology. So, let's go!
Hi, I'm Selza, and let's start with the definition of writing. It has been agreed that writing is a means of communication made possible through graphic symbols arranged according to certain convention to form words, which in turn are arranged to form sentences, and the sentences are logically and grammatically connected to form a piece of language. Writing skill becomes increasingly important nowadays since information exchange become one of humans' needs. A bunch of information can be obtained through pieces of writing by means of internet. Thus, English writing proficiency becomes one of the requirements of globalization era when information exchange among countries in the world is conducted by the interaction of written forms.
Hi, I'm Intan. Here I want to explain about approach to L2 writing, where traditionally approach to L2 writing have focused on three main areas. The first is the actual piece of writing produced by the learner or product approach, which concentrates on the language use and organization of ideas. The second is focus the process learner undertake to produce a piece of writing or process approach. And the third is focused on how the writer engages with audience in social context or social practice approach. This is the following table explain the goal, focus, and types of activity of all three approach, where the approach is writing as a product, writing as a process, and writing as a social practice, where the goal of writing as a product is produce new script. The goal of writing as a process is brainstorming, outlining, drafting, reviewing, revising, and editing. And the goal of writing as a social practice is just writing with the target readers. The second is focus. Focus of writing as a product is focus on language use and the organization of ideas. Focus of writing as a process is focusing on the process of writing. And the focus of writing as a social practice is focused on social purpose of the writing. And the last is types of activity, where the types of activity of writing as a product is analyzing the language and organization of the text models. Next is writing as a process, where the types of activity of writing as a process is getting students go through some steps of producing a good composition. And the last is writing as a social practice, where the types of activity of writing as a social practice is analyzing genre to give students sense of expectation of readers in particular context. So the next material will explain by my friends.
Okay, now we have how does technology help EFL students write? Here we have 2 points. There are product approach and process approach. Let's move to the product approach. So, product approach is an approach to teaching writing that focuses on students' final production. That is the text they are asked to produce. There is enhanced importance in the end product, and this affects the way a product writing lesson is staged. And in product approach, all our online writing lab has been around to help writers produce pieces of composition in any form. Some of the useful materials that are provided include exercises on spelling, punctuation, sentence structure, vocabulary, and summarizing or paraphrasing. Next, we have the process approach. So, what is process approach? Process approach treats all writing as a creative act which requires time and positive feedback to be done well. In process writing or process approach, the teacher moves away from being someone who sets students a writing topic and receives the finished product for correction without any intervention in writing process itself. And the process approach gets students to brainstorm the ideas, make the outline, draft text, then ask others to read and comment, and at the end, edit and revise the content. Okay, now let's see to the following table. Here we have some process like brainstorming, outlining, drafting, reviewing, revising and editing. And we have Gophy, Google Apps for Education, and some other tools to help the process. The first is brainstorming. You can use like Google Search, Google Scholar, and Google Drive, and Padlet, Bubble.us, and Padlet to help the brainstorming. Next is outlining. In outlining, you can use like Google Slides and Google Form. And some other tools beside the Google is readwriting.com and Twitter. Next is drafting. In drafting, the Google application that you can use is Google Docs. And some other tools that you can use is OneNote and Evernote. Next, reviewing. On reviewing, you can use like comment feature on Google Docs and Google Classroom. On the other tools, you can use like forum in LMS, Blogspot, Wattpad, and Kaizena. The last is revising and editing. In revising and editing, you can use spelling and grammar checker. And some other tools you can use like Grammarly and Turnitin.
So the next is to support educators all over the world, Google for Education program has released some application which can be used by teachers to enhance their technology-based teaching and learning. The first one is Gmail. Gmail is a free email service. You can send and receive emails, create an address book, and perform other basic email tasks. And the second is Google Doc. In Google Docs, students can share document files and students can make real-time collaboration with their friends. And the third is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is to streamline the process of sharing files between teachers and students. Google Classroom integrates document, slides, Gmail, and calendar into a cohesive platform to manage student and teacher communication. And the last is Google Drive. Google Drive is one of the services offered by Google to store file or document.
So we are going to talk 6 stages. The first stage is about setting up and registering on Google account. To be able to use Google Apps for education, the first important thing you need to do is that you must have a Google account or Gmail. You might use your personal Gmail to sign up. This is like a key to access all Google applications. You can sign up for free. Signing up is an easy process. Once you have a Google account, you can access us and use all Google applications on your smartphone or tablet. And the second stage is about using Google Search, Google Scholar, and Google Drive to locate and store reference. A good writing starts with a good reading. To be able to write a good piece of writing, a writer needs to be able to locate relevant references to support their arguments. Google search will help learner find the information related to the topic they are writing. And Google Scholar will help learner obtain resources from scholarly journals. Once they have already gathered the information, they can store and manage their files into Google Drive, then start brainstorming. Students can also do mind mapping using some apps like Padlet, Bulbas, and Poplet. With Google Drive, students have at least 15 GB free stored if they work with their personal Gmail account. With this relatively big storage, students can save lots of files and the file will remain active as long as they keep the account. They can manage their own folders. They can update any files at any time from any device as long as they are connected to the internet. And the third is using Google Slide and Google Form to make it an online. One idea has been set. Learners can try to organize the idea into an outline of framework using Google Slide. Google Slide help learners to jot down important parts of the composition, which they will develop into a piece of writing. Teachers can also help students by providing guiding or prompt questions to students using Google Form. Then, teachers can give feedback for their submitted outline prior to the development of the ideas. Stage 4. Drafting using Google Docs. With Google Docs, students can write their draft based on the outline they have written previously. Google Doc will automatically save the writing in every 2 seconds, so the students do not need to worry of losing any files. Like what sometimes happens if they work manually or with Microsoft Office Word document. Students can also collaborate with their friends by inviting collaborators to the file, and they can get the writing done together without having to send multiple emails back and forth. Stage 5. Reviewing using Google Classroom or comment feature on Google Docs. Students can also easily share the file, teacher or their friends with Google Classroom or Google Docs. Google Classroom is a handy application that can be used by a teacher to manage his or her class online. This is like a virtual class where teacher can communicate with the student online. Sharing file with friends will enable them to practice peer editing activities as well as getting feedback from their friends. The peer editing and teacher feedback is fully conducted online and paperless. They can read, suggest, and change or editing their peers' draft to make it better. Through the share file, teachers can control the students' activities to make sure if the peer editing process has been running as planned as expected. At the same time, the teacher can provide suggestions and feedback on students' writing. The students can see the feedback immediately, although the teachers and the students are not in face-to-face situation. Stage 6. Revising and editing using Google Docs. After students revise feedback from their friends, they can start revising and editing online. The importance of peer editing and or peer feedback in the process of teaching writing has been mentioned by many research and practice in the field of teaching writing. According by Benjamin and Nietzsche. Their studies support the ideas that peer editing of peer feedback provide a significant point in improving students' writing quality. This is not only the case for the students provide feedback but also for those who provide feedback.
Hi there, I'm Regina. Will continue the presentation by giving the tutorial about how to use Google Sites. So Google Sites is available in your Google account and it's for free. You can create a website. Then you can create multiple pages and also add videos. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, first of all, make sure that you are connecting with the internet. So you can open your browser like Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or whatever you want. But now I'm using Chrome. So where we can find the Google site. So actually there's a few different ways you can find it. The first way is you just type Google Sites here and then you just enter it and you'll find the first one here. Just click on it and then you'll find the page, but you need to log in first. Or maybe you can also type sites.google.com. You just enter it and then you'll find the same page like this here. Okay, the other way to start the Google Sites is here I'm going to click on the Google Apps, which all part the different when you're logging as Google, you'll see. Then click your Google Drive here. In this opportunity, I will use this way to explain you how to use Google Sites. So, okay, start from here. You can click New and then More, and you just find Google Sites here. But I recommend you to make a folder first, so it will be more organized and easy to access your websites. So I'll make it. Okay, new folder. I'll name the band, and I just create it. Okay. Now you can open your folder, and you could right click here, and you just click More. You'll find Google Sites here. And then you click Google Sites. Okay, now it's opening up Google Sites and you can start to go from here. So first, after you create folder in Google Drive, you have to click it because you could have lots of different websites. So I'll write Kibop. So okay, then notice when I do that, it changes down here. Okay, this is going to be the file name like this. Okay, so this is going to be the file name. Okay, and just change it. Flying. So I can go ahead and change this here. For example, my website today is going to be all about flying revolution. Okay, and then now look, it doesn't change the file name in Google Drive, right? So in this tab, I'd like to make sure that everything is named correctly. So second, you can choose a theme here. As you can see over on the right hand side, there's insert, pages and themes, and this is where we're gonna insert our content. Then you can change your image by clicking here, change image, or maybe here, change image, but I want to change image by doing this. So I want to change my image first, the background actually. Okay, you can also paste your URL here, or maybe search by Google, or upload your photo from your albums or from Google Drive. But I want to use this gallery from Google. Then you can change the header of type. So here I start with banner, which is what I have now, to large banner, or to title only. Okay, but I want to use the banner one. Okay, the third, add a footer. Okay, so at the bottom of the page, you'll notice add footer here. Okay, so the footer is going to go across all your pages, so it's horizontal block, and if you click add, here's where you can add information, and it's always gonna stay the same on every page. You could also put a link to your website, maybe your social media, or etc., that people can click on that, and it's always going to stay the same. So I'll show you. I'll write my Instagram account. So okay, you can also put the link here, or maybe you can also change the background, but I want to use emphasis 2. However, you can still make with this right. I just want to use emphasis 2. Okay, now let's start with the box. Okay, you may fill your website, right? So you have to start with the text box first here. So you can see text box appears. I'm going to type a welcome message here. Give me a few seconds to do that. Okay, great. And so I have now written my welcome message. So I can just click away from that text box, and you can see it's now set. If you want to edit it, you just click and change whatever you want to change. You can also add the link here, or maybe you want to change the background here. Okay, but I just want to this. Okay, next I'll show you how to make it more organized with layouts. Okay, if you don't see them, they might be closed. So you can see how it opens and closed here. Okay, the layouts are great because they kind of give you placeholders to put whatever you want. This kind help you with the design of it. So I want 3 images across here. Okay, that when I hit the plus here, I can go ahead and upload image, select image. Maybe you will upload from your Google Drive, or maybe from the YouTube calendar, or maybe maps. In this case, I'll just add the 3 different images. So I want to choose from my drive. Okay, here. I just named this by here. Okay. So as I just named this by here, I can also add more text here, but I don't want to. But you can. You may add your text. So I'll show you. Wait. You can also drag your image like this now. So it will make the image looks great, right? Okay, now it's done. Don't worry about how to save this progress or your website when you're done, because it's just automatically saved on your Google Drive. Now, maybe you're wondering how it looks like on the web. So you click this preview here. it starts to give you an idea that we have our title up here and further down here, or you can see all here. We can go across and see what it would look like on a phone, okay, on a tablet, and on the laptop or computer like we did. Okay, it's perfect, right? Okay, and then I'm gonna show you how to share the YouTube. Maybe you want to share the YouTube, right? You just go amped here in insert. You just copy your link, and you go here and you just paste here. Okay, click insert, and yeah, there you'll see. Okay, this is the YouTube video that you share in your website. Okay, so whatever you want to add the links, maybe you link quizzes or whatever you want, you just click amped here, right? Okay, now how to share my website. So if you are done, you can go up here and click publish, and then think about your website address. Maybe I'll put and flying and via here, so it will be automatically below. And then you can also manage who can view your website, so manage. You can also change here link vary, so anyone with the link, you change anyone with the link. So you can also add editors so that you can have more than one person working on the same website and they will all have edit options. Now you would have to make those changes. You have to invite people to be editors with you, and you might need to change this so it's not just private, but you definitely can collaborate with others on building a website. Okay, I'll skip this then. Okay, publish. Okay, so that's all. Can't wait to see your website.
So, this is the end of the presentation. You have got the explanation about teaching writing with technology and also the tutorial about how to use the Google Sites. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.